Hi, this is Mr. Petrimo again, and welcome to another lesson. Today we are going to learn about our ICT portfolios and how to set up our website. So the first thing I'm going to have you do is go to your Google Drive and using your Omnibox, remember our Omnibox lesson, use your Omnibox and go to Google Sites right here, Google Sites. You might have to scroll around, yours might be in a little bit of a different spot. From this link, it will take you to the Google Sites main page. Now, we're going to be using the classic Google Sites, so do not navigate your way to the new Google Sites. The template that you will need is on the classic Google Sites setting. So what you're going to do is you're going to hit the Create button, and then you're going to choose in Classic Sites. Remember, if you choose New, you won't see the template. So in Classic Sites, and then you're going to come to this page, and you don't want a blank template because Mrs. Hall built a perfect template for us to use, and I'll show you how to access that. You're going to go to Browse the Gallery for more, right here, Browse for more. So click on Browse for more, and you should have access to the BMS ICT Portfolio template. So when you click that open, you'll be able to hit Select, and it will open that template up for you. Now, before you move further, this is where you have to name your site. So for mine, I named it Petrimo ICT Portfolio. Petrimo ICT Portfolio. And then I'm going to click that Create button. And after I do, it's going to open up my portfolio, a copy of that template, but this is my copy, and I'll be able to edit it and change it and put whatever else I need on it. Now you've got some tools here. The first thing you're going to do, if you're a fifth grader, you're going to want to edit this portion right here, your name and about me. And you do that up here with this Edit Page button. So you're going to click on the Edit Page, and this will open the editor, and you can change your name and then change your all about me. Now this should be a nice paragraph. It should be things you like, things you're interested in, things you've accomplished this year. Maybe you got into the spelling bee and you were proud of that. Maybe you went on a field trip that was fantastic. This is your all about me page. You can also upload a photo, and I will show you that at a later time. So right now we're just going to set up your quick little fifth grade about me page. And then I'm going to show you the subpages here. So after you do that, then you click the Save button. And now on your ICT portfolio, it's going to change whatever you typed, and it'll have that on there. And notice you have grade 6, grade 7, and grade 8, and those are all blank as well. So next year, when you come to 6th grade, you're going to edit the 6th grade page, and you're going to put your name there again, and this time you're going to say a little bit about you as a 6th grader. And it's fun to watch over the years how this paragraph changes. So do a really good job on that, because you'll enjoy it a lot when you get to grade 8, and you can look back on grade 5, 6, and 7. So after you are all set to do that, you have 6 subpages. You have creativity and innovation, you have communication and collaboration, you have research and information fluency, you have critical thinking, problem solving, and decision making, you have digital citizenship, and you have technology, operations, and concepts. So each of these subpages you will need to click on and open up, and you're going to have to find an exemplar of something you did that's going to satisfy creativity and innovation. Now, it doesn't have to necessarily be in computer class. It can be from all of 5th grade. So by the end of the year, each of these 6 subpages should have an exemplar of something you did that would cover creativity and innovation. Now, for me, one of the projects that you do called Iconic Story is a creative project. You're writing your own story, and then you're dressing it up with pictures, and that is an exemplar or an example of creativity and innovation. So you could certainly put that there, and all you have to do is add from Drive. So click on the Add from Drive button. It's going to go straight to your Drive, and you find your iconic story, and you click it, and then you're good to go. So I'm going to actually close this out. But once you go to add that, then that'll be good. If you would like to, you can also add a link to a web page. Maybe you built your own web page, or maybe you have a screenshot of something that you posted on the web. You can certainly do that. And then there's the old add a file. So if you have a screenshot, you would want to add the file. You may use the snipping tool to screenshot anything and add the file right here. So sometimes you get certificates for coding games. Those could be turned into snips and add the file right there. All right, the rest of the buttons you really won't need to use. You don't need to move anything around or delete or subscribe to changes, so you'll be good to go. And at any time you can come down here to grade 5 and go back. Oops, wrong button. That's trying to take me to the new sites. You can go back right up here with grade 5. That'll take you back to the grade 5 main page. And then you can switch to communication and collaboration. Communication, maybe that's emails. Maybe that is a speech that you gave in class. Maybe it is a presentation that you designed. Those are all considered communications. Also, maybe it's an essay that you wrote in ELA class or a report in history. All of those would be covered under communication and collaboration. If we went into research and information fluency, some of my projects you have to research for your famous person, the endangered species. Those all require quite a bit of research. So those would be good exemplars for this page. But maybe you researched something in Chinese class and you had to do a little project for that. You can certainly put that there. Maybe you had to research a famous musician for music class. That project would go perfectly in this category. Let's move along to number 4, critical thinking, problem solving, and decision making. Critical thinking and problem solving. What do you do when you code? You problem solve. That is all coding. So your coding would go great here with critical thinking. Also, you could put other exemplars from like perhaps technology class. The 3D printing and the robots are all perfect examples of problem solving and decision making. Along with any race cars, I believe you make a race car, and other projects in class. So you could certainly put any of that under here, and as well as other classes. I'm trying to think of other things. Critical thinking often goes along with math. So if you had to do a math project, maybe a tessellations or some other algebra project, critical thinking certainly is built into math. So let's go back into our 5th one, digital citizenship. Now, digital citizenship you learn over the years with me and with Mrs. Russo-Evans. So I will be making new digital citizenship certificates for students who finish my entire unit. So you will be able to screenshot that or take a picture of it and get it into your drive, and from there you'll be able to put it right here in your portfolio. And that's just a certificate of completion that you completed all the 5 digital citizenship lessons for me. You can also screen cap or write a summary of what you did for Miss Russo-Evans in her digital citizenship lesson. So our last category is technology and operations. Technology and operations. Now this is a pretty wide and broad subject. So anything you do on the computer, anything you do in tech class, anything that involves Google Chrome, there's so many things that you could put in here. Now, on each of these, you have a reflection that you need to write. So you would reflect, and that's just a simple paragraph. What did you do? What new skills did you learn? Or what did you gain by completing the activity? And then what are your next steps? What would you like to do? If you did a basic 3D printing problem, let's take that to the next level and say, what is my next desired project in 3D printing? So if you made a chess piece, for example, maybe you would like to take the next step and make the chess board or design another chess piece and perhaps build on that project. So those are our 6 categories that we will need to provide examples of and reflections for each one of those. Examples and reflections. You will often hear me say exemplar. That is an item that is the perfect example of a thing. So that's what the word exemplar means. It's the best one. Now, at any time that you forget any of these, or if you're a kid who is better about reading a paragraph and then understanding, right here, Net S, everybody see this button, Net S, right here takes you to the ISTE standards webpage where the 6 categories are defined. So you could come in here if you're stuck and you don't know what to do for number 1, creativity and innovation. You can read this paragraph right here and say, oh yeah, I know what I did for this one, and come up with your ideas from that. The same with research, information, communication, critical thinking, digital citizenship, and technology and operations. So this is a handy guide. It's attached right at the bottom of everybody's portfolio page, and you can go and remind yourself what that means. So every year, you should be picking exemplars and reflections on each of these 6 categories to put in your portfolio and keep it up to date. Remember, these are required to be completed before you leave BMS. So by grade 8, these should be completely filled up. But I don't want you to drag your feet. I want you to get into the habit of throwing things in right away. When you do a project, you can say to yourself, "Oh, that's critical thinking. Let me go put that right now in my portfolio and transfer it right in like that, and so it'll be done." All right. If there's any questions, please feel free to come see me with any questions. Also, you may rewatch this video as often as you like. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks and have a good one.